My name's Bimaaji'ut. I've been a commercial fisher for 27 years.
My name's Akiwenzies. I'm a commercial fisherman at the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation.
My name is Francis LaValle. I'm a commercial fisherman from Cape Crooker.
I'm Jay Jones, Senior, known as Tattoo. Fishing since about 2000. I've been fishing on my own.
All my brothers were fishermen. We all fished for our dad. I can remember way back when I was just a kid, 6 years old, my brothers used to have to carry the outboard motor down to the lake. Back then there was no cars here. So the only car, I think there was 3 cars on the whole reserve when I was 6 years old. You know, that's all the cars on the whole reserve. So when my brothers had to go fishing, we'd have to walk down to the bay with the motor. And that's even in the wintertime because, well, in the summertime they could leave it on the boat. But in the wintertime, they'd have to bring the motor home and put it downstairs by the furnace so that it kept it from freezing, right? So anytime they wanted to go fishing, they had to pick the motor up and carry it down to the lake and put it on the boat and then go out fishing. That's how it was. Now that we're into these times, because we changed from the open boat and the motors into a tug, you know, the tugs are a unit that you can leave in the lake and you don't have to, you have to make sure there's some heat, you know, so that we can plug our boats into dock power or have a generator to run that or to start your engine in the morning.
I don't know, today I found a bunch of gear along the shoreline, I guess. Me and my dad were going along and I was watching the shoreline and I seen corks popping up through the rocks. And I told Dad, I said, hey, I see corks along the shoreline. He goes, no. I said, yeah, go over there, let's go over there. So we went and looked and we found must have been about 5,000 yards of net. All covered in the stones. You could see where it just come in by itself and like brand new.
Got into some serious situations where, wow, thank God it was coming around. Okay, it scared me, but it's always going to be back to where you have to give respect to the water.
You know, I do it because I love it. It's my lifestyle. It's not a job. A lot of the guys that I hired thought it was a job, but it's not just a job. It's a lifestyle. It's if you don't like it, I don't know why you're out there.
My best outcome in that would be, like I said, a moratorium on the fishing. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's stop adding things in, and let's figure out what nature will sustain on her own. She sustained our peoples for many years prior to contact, and that was when our numbers were 100 times more than they are now, so she's been sustaining us for all this time, to now that within these last 150 or 200 years that we've almost collapsed that system. So obviously we're doing something very wrong, so what do you do when doctors do the same thing? They stand back, let's take a look and let's watch and see what's working, what's healing. I've seen a lot of changes over the years as I've fished in it. As a young lad, my uncles took me out when we first got outboard motors and I could see the odd cabin and that. Now I go out there, I see the odd tree amongst the cabins, and they've resettled all the shorelines and that. I've had 2 good hot spots of fishing taken away from me because of development. I've had the east side of Hay Island. The gentleman dynamited a beaver dam to extend his air. He owns the island, so he has an airport on the island. So he extended his airport, and that took all the great fishing off the side. That's where I caught all the sturgeon, was on that side. So him getting rid of beavers, dropping the enriched water system that flows out and feeds the little ones, did that. Same thing when just on the southwest corner of White Cloud Island going towards the mainland, there was a place there that had boulders and swamp. And I fished there before somebody bought it. Somebody bought it, probably from Toronto or someplace in that. Somebody with some pockets, because they brought in a big bulldozer. They brought in a whole bunch of fill. They built this giant 3-story house and big 4-car garage. And they manicured the lawn right to the water and put in a wall. And that, now, there's no more fish there. That what used to be there was that little bit of aquifer, the wetlands, the marshy little areas, the place that had all that made the water lively, and that. So when we take that all away, what do we have? We have an aquarium. So that's that's pretty much what they're trying to do now, and that with the sportsmen putting their fish out. They're saying, okay, we've given up on trying to wait for nature, and that we're just gonna get rid of nature, and we'll throw in what we want to catch. You might as well go and fill up Harold Sutherland's gravel pit and throw your trout in there, and that same thing. It'd save the rest of us to have something that is of that should be there for all of our future generations. It's been there all this time, and if we take care of it, and it should be there for the rest of our generations to come.
So I was fishing by myself. I was coming from the lighthouse. And I had so much weight in the front of the boat, it was just a little bit of a wave going on. The bow went down like that, started going down, and so I kicked it into reverse. I had a 40-horse motor. Kicked it into reverse, and it pulled it back up out of the water, and then I started bailing it with a 5-gallon pail. And it kept up, and then once I got all the water out, I tried to go again, and then it did that to me 3 times before I got to the dock. The bow went under with all the weight in the front, you know.
I'm concerned that our kids will not have a fishery to come to. You know, I'm afraid that the next generation will not have a fishery to go to because the fish are just not there anymore.
I guess the big thing for yourself is to feel in your heart what you want to do, and that if it don't feel right, then you don't do it. And that many times I've been forced to do things that I didn't want to do, and known in my heart that it wasn't right, and that if you do things in a good way, in that, then greed doesn't fit in. Our teachings of life become more prevalent then, and that so then you get honor, and you get the wisdom, and that you get the bravery and the strength, and that. So it's a matter of listening to yourself and out of the outside influences around you, and that.
So there's 2 fisheries. Either you want to be a millionaire doing it, or you just want to be someone that can live off of it. And you can live off of it if you do it right. Well, make sure if you're going to go out fishing, make sure that's what you want to do and have fun at it. Don't make it into where it makes it hard on you. Make sure it's fun. Make sure you enjoy it. And remember to take care of the fish. Take care of the water as best you can.